Morning, Scott.
Sandy, you let me in on the bridge, thank you.
Did I?
I think you did. You followed me right up the hill, so.
Did you see that guy in my pool?
You
I
can't
do that.
You can't even do that. You can't do that if you try.
I know. I
Like
was
he
like,
was neatly on top of that
I
bank.
know. I was like, I don't understand how we got up there.
He didn't go into the bank, he went on top, unless it was just so hard that he drove right up it. But how?
I don't know.
He
I
must
think
have been going so
it
fast,
must have
Sandy.
had something to do with that minivan or that
The
van that was parked
delivery
across
truck.
the street. But it wasn't smashed up or anything, so
You
I
know what
thought
I'm thinking?
he was gonna
I'm
rear
thinking-
end him and he.
Well, either that or the delivery truck was trying to pull out of the old government house and maybe he swerved to get away from him, but
I
you
was like-
can't even
And he
plan
had a
that.
kid in with him too.
I
Did
know,
you
but he
notice
looked
that?
embarrassed.
He's driving by and you're sitting way up there on the snowbank looking around. Yeah, that's embarrassing.
Test, 1, 2, 3.
Is it Terry?
Test.
I tried to call him.
1, 2, 3.
Oh.
Okay. We good?
Yeah.
Tell me what just. Good morning. Morning. Wow, what a nice cold morning it is today. Welcome, St. John. Bathurst and Moncton, I guess you're going to be forfeited to next week. If anyone in St. John can't hear me, please let Laura know. Our system should be working this morning. If it's not, Brad Sullivan is in big trouble. Well, we're almost the 15th of January, and we are starting to pile up some listings, folks, which is a great thing. For those people that are engaged in bold, and over 75 or 80% here is, what a week we're having. I've been getting reports from St. John, Moncton, and even Bathurst in regards to doing their calls and getting referrals and getting appointments right across. So if that's any indication of just week one, just think where we'll be in week 7. So the idea is that it is cold out. So while it's cold, it's 20 calls a day until next Wednesday, and you should have your number of calls made for Coach Bill. This morning, and I know I did this last week, premature to the folks in St. John. I was told after that I wasn't supposed to do it till today. So if you're listening, this is a repeat performance. We're going to talk a little bit about disappearing cap. Some time ago, Keller Williams International, under John Davis, introduced this concept called disappearing cap. And it's a growth strategy that John had in regards to growing the market centers or the business centers, along with helping you have your cap disappear, which is, for some people, a great thing. And for some other people, they may not even be interested in doing it. So the way disappearing cap works is that if you know somebody that you're doing a deal with or some business with, and you think that that person would be a good fit for Keller Williams, then the first thing you want to do is introduce them to the team leader, Carrie. Carrie will have probably 2 or 3 calls with that individual to determine a few things. 1, is the person a fit for Keller Williams? 2, where's the person in production? And 3, is the person at the point where they want to make a move to Keller Williams? So after she determines that, and that person decides they're coming to Keller Williams, and they choose you as a sponsor, a couple of things will happen. 1, to qualify for the 25% reduction in your cap, and we know that your cap is $26,000, and we know that you need to have $86,666 in GCI. To qualify for a 25% reduction, the recruit must have $100,000 in GCI or $4.3 million of closed volume over the past 12 months. The second way they qualify is to have a 12.5% reduction. The recruit must have $50,000 in GCI or $2 million in closed volumes over the past 12 months. To qualify in the third area, for a $2,000 reduction, the recruit must have closed $1 million in production over the 12 months and have 2 active listings or have $1 to $2 million in closed volume over the past 12 months. There is no reduction in your cap if they're new agents joining Keller Williams. And then leadership reserves the right to change or cancel this program without notice. Now, one of the other things that I wanted to point out here, all recruits must be approved through leadership with Scott and myself having final approval. And why did we put that there? Because our philosophy has been very clear right from the start, and our vision has been very clear. We're going to build this company with the right people. And I believe up until now, we've got the right people in the room here in all of the other market centers or business centers that we have. This program is designed for you to go and help get your cap reduced, but at the same time, we're not just bringing people in here that can fog a glass. We're bringing people in here that have their learning base, they have good culture, no baggage, and they want to move their business in the right direction. That's why Scott and I will always have the final say of who comes and who doesn't come. And you've heard me use this phrase before, don't judge me on who we hire, but judge me on who we keep. And that's been a long-standing, almost 7 years now, with Keller Williams. Now, if you bring somebody in to that comes to Keller Williams, and you get a 25% reduction in your cap, the cap does not start the minute you bring, the reduction does not start the minute you bring the person in. The reduction starts when you roll over on your anniversary date. And it's a one-shot deal. It's not, oh, I brought him in, so I'm going to get 25% year after year after year. So it is a one-shot deal. One of the questions that was asked last week was, oh, is it retroactive? No, it's not retroactive. If that was the case, then we just may as well give everyone 25% and forget about it. So it's not retroactive, but it is a way to build your business. It is a way to build your downline, and it is a way to help you get your cap reduced. Any questions on what I just said? Yeah.
If you recruit 2 of the people, do you get it added on?
Yep. 25% and 25% is 50%. And both of those would be in the year that when you roll over. So if you want a 50% in cap, just go find two cappers. That's how it happens. Any other questions? Well, that was easy. Simple. What do you think of this concept?
It's great.
Opportunity.
It's nice to see it right away too, like, with the profit share, you kinda get a little bit over, but I mean, you bring someone in 25%, that's like $6,500 right there that first year, so.
Yeah. $6,500 right off your cap, so, you're down from 26 to 19.5, and get another one, you're down again. People have built their downline and certainly have reduced their cap significantly by using this. Now this concept, I think Scott has been out for probably 5 or 6 months.
Yeah, early fall.
And we're not early adopters, but we're not late adopters either, but we wanted to make sure that it works and that it makes sense, rather than throw it out there and then find out that we've got a bunch of holes that we got to start to fill, and now we've offered something to somebody that we can't stick to. So we did our homework, and this will work. It'll work for you, and it'll work for us. At the end of the day, it's got to be what, win-win or no deal. I think this is a win-win all the way around. Any other questions on cap? Any other questions in regards to the Bold? Anybody have any questions on Bold? We're off this Wednesday, but we're back on next Wednesday. Kathy brought her chair down, Scott brought a chair down for Kathy. I think that Scott's got orders now for 15 chairs. He's just he's just loading up my trailer. There's not, it's a great facility. The chairs are a little bit left be desired. They remind me of kitchen chairs, not chairs that you would sit in a meeting all day. But anyway, we'll get through it. Maybe that's what that'll keep us moving around enough that we'll stay sharp. And the design of the room will be a whole lot different this time around, because you'll be chosen to be on different tables, which means that that's who you'll be sitting with for the next 6 or 7 weeks at least. And I think it's going to get a lot more fun here in the next couple of weeks.
So how many tables will there be this time?
Well, I think there's going to be probably 12 or 14 tables, because there's 75 people taking the bowl from 2 to 7. And by the way, congratulations. We are the only market center in all of the country that has 75 people taking step 2 to 7.
Wow.
And we're the only market center in all of Canada that are sitting at 32% of goal. Our goal was to put 50 people in the chairs for step 2 to 7, and we end up with 75. So congratulations, it's all you. It's not, our job is to bring it here, and your job is to partake. And when I say partake, I really mean that seriously. It's a lot of money that you're investing. $1,100 is not chicken feed, right? It's a lot of money. Now, the way that you're going to get your money's worth is that you become a real good participator, not only in the class, but in the homework side, that you make a conscious effort to do what you're supposed to do. Because over the next 66 days, we're going to create a habit. And if you were here yesterday at all, you could feel the synergy just in the building already, with some people with either their doors shut and they were into making calls to the database or what have you. Matt Hunter was looking for a phone book yesterday afternoon because he thought he had a lead, but he misplaced the number, and he found the phone number, and he's got an appointment tomorrow after just making a call to list a $600,000 property tomorrow. So I mean, it does work. But it's like everything else. If you don't do anything with it but go through the motions, unfortunately, you're not going to see the great benefit if you stay with it and do it the way it's supposed to be done. Is that clear? Mm-hmm. Any questions on that? Any questions on that, St. John? I know you guys are doing well down there, and you guys get it, so keep that thing rolling. Just an update in regards to St. John and Moncton. St. John right now is in renovation stage already. After 1 year in the building, we're busting out and we're opening or reconstructing 1,500 more feet of space for a bigger training room down there. It's getting pretty tight in the room that we have. So we're excited about that. And in Moncton, in the next month and a half, we'll be in a brand new location with 5,200 square feet of finished space, with 17 or 18 offices, and a huge training room that would be probably half the size of this again. So it's a big training room. So I'm sure that the folks in Moncton are excited about this move as much as Scott and the rest of the leadership is. And we know that our next 12 months, our growth is going to be in the Moncton and St. John areas. That doesn't mean that we're not going to grow in Fredericton. That just means that our growth right now looks like it's going to be in those two areas. And that's a good thing, because we always said that, listen, if we can grow, because we want to be, Keller Williams want to be the company of choice with the best agents in the province of New Brunswick, and we are currently at 103 agents, which is not too bad at all. And we've had, if the month finishes off the way Carrie hopes it does, we'll have another 7 people added to the roster with it before the end of this month. So that's good. And in those 7, we'll probably have 4 or 5 that are brand new agents. We love brand new agents, because you can teach brand new agents a whole lot of tricks. You can't teach us old dogs very much. But the brand new agents are like sponges. They're like sponges. They'll do what you ask them to do, and they'll do what they need to do to make it work. And what better place to learn how to do real estate other than with a company that really, really strives and tries to provide top-notch education. We do it week in and week out, and we try to make sure that you get what you need to get so that you can do what you probably never done before and live in abundance. Our goal is to ensure that each and every one of you has the opportunity to reach as far as you can to ensure that you live in abundance and that you live larger lives than you ever lived before. That's Scott and I's mission. That's what we've been about right from day one. And I don't think, unless someone can tell me now, I don't think that we've let you down. I think that we've provided what we said we'll provide, and we'll continue to do that as long as I'm standing here in front of you. Any questions on that? So, St. John, if you're listening, have a great day. Enjoy the icy roads down there. Stay warm and stay concentrating on bowl for the next 3 or 4 days, and we'll see you guys next Wednesday in Moncton. And for you here in Fredericton, the same thing. Let's stay at it. How many houses we got on tour today? 3. Oh, 3 houses. So that's the north side, 3 houses today. And it looks like we'll just start wrapping stuff up. We've had a couple of houses, but do you guys now find that anything that you get put on new is selling before you get to really play? They're gone. They're gone. There's not a whole lot of inventory, so I'll tell you right now, if you got anybody that's thinking about listing or selling their house in the next 2 to 3 months, you might want to get them to put it on right now. Because if anyone wants to maximize the price of their house, it's when there's no inventory on the market. And right now, the inventory is really low. And that's why everything that's coming on, that's priced right, is selling. It's gone.
People looking in this weather too are serious. They're gonna go out there and buy a house.
There's no tire kickers out there today with 18 or 20 below, I'll tell you that. And Sunday morning, Judith says, "Oh, you guys aren't doing an open house?" I said, "No." She said, "Glenn is." I said, "Glenn is?" And then she showed me the Eagle, and I said, "Yeah, Glenn's having an open house today."
That was a good one.
That was excellent. So anyway, let's go look at some houses. Thank you.